Hello, here we are at part 10 of our little visit to Lake Como, and this time we thought we'd visit Piani, the mountain, and the region at the top of the mountain behind Lecco. We were staying in Lecco, and this is perhaps one of its major attractions, other than the lake itself, obviously. We took the number 5 bus to get up here. It doesn't cost much. It's I don't know, a couple of euros or something for a bus trip in Lecco. It's very cheap compared with Britain. And well, we got a ticket in the cable car, and after a few seconds, with all the German tourists who suddenly turned up just before it took off, up we go. There's the shadow of the cable car. Pretty amazing views already. There's the centre of Lecco itself. I would say it's worth getting the bus up because there's no footpath on the road. It is actually quite a long and steep walk. It doesn't look far when you're up here, but what with narrow roads and big buses and no footpath and Italian driving, I wouldn't recommend getting up here on foot. Unless you're a professional of some sort, I suppose. Professional walker along dangerous looking roads. Anyway, that's the Lecco, one of the Lecco shopping centres. They've got a sort of a proper supermarket there, something like the English ones. What can I say? Most of the Italian shops sell stuff I don't know what to do with, but at least there they have something that's roughly like English stuff. Although I didn't see any cheddar cheese, funnily enough. Lots of other cheeses. And the bread is not really like English bread either, but you know, it's Italy. It's going to be different. This reminds me of a scene from The Sims, you know, that looks like the space station down there on the right. It's gone now. That's Lake Como in the background, or Lago di Lecco, the Lecco arm of it. That's another little local lake or pair of lakes. The other arm of Lake Como is further away, behind the big mountains on the right, behind there somewhere.
Sieht gut aus, gell? Du an der Gürtel hängen. So incredibile, ogni volta ce la fai. Il nucleo è die ganze schnell. Ja.
We're nearly there now. I would say if you do visit Lecco, this is perhaps a must-see, really.
Nee, ist halt mal geflogen, extra aufschlossen, damit jeder mit dem Fahrer ist halt auch mal mit. Bist du auch mal dabei gewesen?
And here we are at the top, and not looking through the glass of the cable car this time, so a little bit sharper image. And at the top you can wander around. There's a bar or two and a cafe or two. There's children's play area, I think, for residents. Here's one of the cafe bar places. A rowan tree there, I think, and mountains everywhere, of course. You can see the layered nature of them. And there's a kind of a nature trail up here which we decided to follow. It's many miles long, actually, several, and we sort of went about halfway and took a shortcut back because I was getting tired anyway. We followed these little signs. Here we are in the Alps, basically. Could be Switzerland. We're just across the border from it anyway. Pretty fantastic to have a house up here, but I think you'd have to not mind being under a few feet of snow every winter. Centre of Lecco again. On the left there, the shopping centre at the top. Lecco is regarded as an industrial town, although we didn't see much in the way of industry, but I suppose it was fairly busy as towns go in this part of the world. But we carried on the nature trail and through the woods. Down this path. And there you go. There's information in Italian about the history of these mountains. And there are the ones they were talking about, indeed. Lots of good views from the path. You do have to be careful to stay on the path and not sort of tumble down the slopes, I suppose. There was one spot where there was a tree fallen across the path. It had been there for years and people had sort of scrambled over it for years. You could see where it was kind of worn away. But it was just about navigable. Here's another not a cable car as such, a ski run, which I guess in the winter is busy, but at the moment looks abandoned. I think we had a sandwich here and then wandered on. And after a bit we came round to these, I suppose, farmhouses. The cattle are watered here, or sheep, or whatever it is they have. And there's our Sentiero Natura, Emozioni da Vivere. So there. The feeling of life, or something to that effect, I guess. That's the ski run again. You can see there, if you look carefully, you can see footpaths at the tops of those mountains, but to get there you would have to climb up to them, so that's not for me, thank you very much. And there's a view from back on the Lecco side of the hills. You can see you're quite at liberty to throw yourself off if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. People get killed here every year, basically, or certainly fairly frequently, through not being careful enough. It's easy enough to be careful. You can see where the edge is and don't step over it. There's a cross to somebody who died many years back. But the view, of course, is absolutely amazing. And that's basically it. We've been up there for several hours, actually walking around, following the nature trail, and quite exhausted now. We were heading back home. Although I do seem to recall we went on another little walk around the town later on. But anyway, we can watch the view going back this way now.
I gomiti sono coperti. Stamattina c'erano su che forse c'è cosa? Noi abbiamo visto lungo il percorso. Sì, anche lungo il percorso abbiamo trovato. Certo che riusciremo a fare qua. Adesso di qua.
Bit wobbly with the camera. It was a bit crowded in the cable car. Wasn't really room to position myself well.
Questa qua. Tu lo filmi quando ti sono sullo schermo. Ma come la fai vedere? Oppure faccio il quello.
Again, the cable car isn't expensive. Like everything else in Italy, it shuts at lunchtime for an hour or so. I think they have about, I don't know, one trip an hour or one trip every half hour or something of that sort. Or when there's enough people, like 10 or something, then it'll go. This sort of casual system.
La prima volta che ma siamo che ci la puntino ma sono veloce ma siamo noi che andiamo giù
But I would definitely recommend it if you like mountainous nature and views and stuff of that sort. I know a lot of people go on holiday just to sort of soak up the sun and stuff like that, but it'd be a shame to come here and not see what the place has.
Lì c'era poi ci sono inizio insediamenti nelle case di una volta che andiamo
non so lì andare va
Nearly there now.
Domani che gira domani? Ieri non c'è, oggi qua domani? No.
And back to get the number 5 bus back into town. Again, not particularly frequent, but there is one every now and then. And there's a plan, and we sort of skipped across from number 7 to number 14 and took the shortcut back, straight back to numbers 1 and 2. Okay, bye for now.